Hola, hola. Hola, hola. ¿Pero por qué me escucho yo a mí mismo? ¿Qué? Sí. Sí, sí. Yo...
So, hello?
Hello? Can you hear
Hi,
me?
hi. Yes, I can. Sorry, can I see if in the waiting room there are Carmen, Hassan, and Marius? These are the adjudicators, and I need to talk to them for just a bit before everybody
No,
else comes in.
there's nobody in waiting room.
Hmm. 0 people in the waiting
There
room?
0 people.
Okay, I think we have a bit of a confusion. Okay, well
Okay.
let me try another room in the meantime. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, bye. Hey, Albert. Albert,
Sí.
què tal?
Ei, pues està fallant alguna cosa, tio, amb els links.
Sí, ha entrat
El Dani, no?
Sí, y me ha preguntado que si estaba no sé qui, no sé cuántos a la waiting room. Le digo, no, es que no hay nadie. Me dice 0, digo 0.
Hòstia
Dice,
puta,
uy,
tio.
aquí solo tengo a este señor.
Joder, tio.
Bueno, señor.
Quina cagada, tio. Vale, pues res, és el que és.
Vale. Espera, Nuran. No, joder. Ahora. Ya.
Hi, Nuran, can you hear me?
Yes, hi, Albert.
Yes, hi. It seems there's some issue with links. I don't know really what's happening.
I really don't know. Danny just told me. I copy pasted the things, but apparently they appear as 2 links for some reason.
Yes, I heard someone in another room saying that they received 2 links. So they got confused. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so would you be able to tell like the other rooms to send the correct links according to the list they have?
Yeah. So what I can do, so the debaters, they know which room they go into, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I can do is, yeah, ask the technicians from the other rooms to put in the chat the links to the correct rooms. Okay.
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 Great.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Not a problem.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, hello.
Good afternoon.
Great. Hi. Hello, everybody. So I assume you've been briefed and you're in the right room.
Yes, right.
Wonderful. Great. So I will let you start. Have a great debate.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are we all here or still a lot of people didn't come?
I think there's still a few people there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I just saw a message. So when should we start? Let's wait a bit for also for the other participants to join, and then we can start.
My partner Diana's trying to get in the Zoom call, but she's waiting for someone to accept her. So
Okay, I think from Abalingua they should solve this this technical thing. I think Luis can do
Hello.
that.
There's nobody in the waiting room.
Maybe she's in the wrong room.
So who is missing here?
oh, I think she has the wrong Zoom link. Could you
Hi.
send it here for me again so
Who?
I could send it to her on WhatsApp? Diana? Diana
Okay, I'll
Mezin?
put it here. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Nuran, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Hassan just emailed me saying he's been waiting outside, so I guess he's waiting outside another room. Is
I
it
can't hear.
possible? Yeah, is it possible to resend him a link now? Because he said he's been waiting for 5 minutes.
I did. I will resend it again,
Okay.
but I did. Okay.
Great, thanks. So Carmen is here. Okay, so hi everyone. While we're waiting for the head adjudicator, I just wanted to double check that all the debaters are here. Have you checked, Marius or Carmen, if all the debaters are here?
I have the list. Let me just give me just 1 minute. I can check
Exactly.
them.
Yeah, could you go through them, please? Thank you.
I can go live if you want. So we have here we should have Georgios and Georgios and Salma. So I saw Georgios here, Georgios Verdi, and let me check Salma. Salma Khaled is here. Then we have Salma Mesbah, Diana
I'm here.
Mazet. Okay, where? Okay, you are here. And Diana Madzen. I'm not sure if I'm just asking, sorry in advance if I'm spelling your names wrongly. Diana Madzen is here.
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Then we have Hamad. Hamad.
No, it's my name, Diana
It's the
Mazin.
same name.
Same name.
Diana Hamad. Okay, really sorry.
No.
Okay. Then we have Ibrahim Abdelaziz.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. And you are 2 times, right? And then we have Basma Adel.
Yes, I'm here.
Basma Adel Maghrabi 2 times.
Yes, the
Okay,
two.
so okay, perfect. So everyone is here. Let me check for the rapporteurs. Hadija.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. And then Anwar.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and the adjudicators, Carmen is here, I'm here, and Hassan, that is the leading adjudicator, is not here yet, right? Okay, we're just missing only
Yes,
Hassan.
not yet. He's somehow lost in another room, but let me see who else can take his place. Just give me 2 minutes and then we'll find someone, okay? If not, I'll take his place.
Dennis Irin can be back, I guess.
Yes, I
sent
just,
her the,
yeah, and I just emailed her again.
I sent her the link.
Okay. Nuran, can you contact Sarah? There's still Sarah.
Okay.
Okay, Marius, let's take over. So if you could just head the session, chair it, just to make sure whoever's going next, and I will be adjudicating with you. Okay, so let us start.
Okay, are you sure, Danny, that we're not waiting for Sirin? I think her power is back.
Yes, I know, but she hasn't joined in. So let us start, and I'll be here instead. We'll go all the way. Let's go.
Okay, perfect. And just 1 second that I'm going to screen share the timer. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm Marius, and I'm going to be one of the adjudicators of the day, together with Danny and Carmen. And as I mentioned before, we're going to have also 2 rapporteurs that are Hadija Amahal and Anwar. Danny, unfortunately, I don't have the motion written.
Okay, it's actually on. Okay, hold on. I know. I don't have it written either. Sorry, let me look for it.
You want me to tell you?
Please read the motion for us.
Yes, yes. This House will work with concerned governments to prevent immigrants from risking their lives in the Mediterranean. I will say it again. This House will work with concerned governments to prevent immigrants from risking their lives in the Mediterranean.
Thank you very much, Georgios. I see that also Ibrahim wrote it down. That's great. And we're going to have, as I said, from the opening government, we're going to have Georgios, that you are going to be the first, and then your teammate will be Salma, that will be the third speaker. Georgios, I'm going to share now the timer. As you know, you have 5 minutes. The rules are really easy. I'm going to clap on when the first minute is going to start. I'm going to clap on all time on the 4th minute. I'm going to clap 2 times on the 5th minute. And when you are going to have more than 20 seconds from the 5 minutes that are allocated to you, I'm going to continue clapping. Are the rules clear?
Yes.
Yes.
May I ask to the other participant that did not turn on the camera to turn on the camera, please? Okay, perfect. We can start our debate. Georgios, you have 5 minutes. Please go ahead. The time is yours.
Thank you. As opening government, we are here to defend the motion that this House will work with concerned governments to prevent immigrants from risking their lives in the Mediterranean. We're going to show you why in both humanitarian grounds and later, Salma, in economic grounds, it is preferable that you vote for this motion, and we will show you why our strategy is going to win the debate. First of all, I'm going to go through with our definition. We believe there are 3 main terms that should be defined in this debate. The first one is concerned government. We want to define concerned government broadly. What does that mean? Of course, we're talking about sending government states where the immigrants come from, host government states where immigrants go to, but we also want to incorporate governments states that are not placed in the Mediterranean. And a useful example to understand this is Bangladesh. A lot of immigrants who are crossing the Mediterranean come from Bangladesh, and we believe that it is imperative not only to work with states in the region, but also to work with the states where the immigrants come from. So the second term we want to define is immigrants. What do we mean by immigrants? The immigrants are persons who wish to travel to another country, to relocate in search for better economic opportunities. This means they do not have adequate economic opportunities at home, and they believe that by moving to another country, they can find better, more prosperous lives. It is very important to note that we are that immigrants do not include refugees. We believe that refugees are an entirely different case that are out of the scope of the debate, and they're not included in the term immigrants. The third
Information.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is illegal immigrants are considered as immigrants in your definition?
Thank you for this. That was my next point. The third one is that we believe it is self-evident that we're talking about illegal immigrants, because if these immigrants were legal, they would not be risking their lives traveling with boats through the Mediterranean. They would find safe ways to get to their new countries. The final and most important thing we want to point out is that we will work with concerned government. What does that mean? We believe that the countries that are more prosperous, that are more well off, should provide economic help, economic incentives to the countries that are worse off in the Mediterranean and in the countries of origins of immigrants, in order to create better economic conditions for these immigrants to stay at home and live prosperous lives in their countries of origins, where we believe that everybody is better off. As I said, we're going to provide you two main lines of argumentations for this. I'm going to talk about humanitarian grounds, and Salma is later going to talk about economic arguments. But starting from the humanitarian, we believe that this is a very principal point. What do you mean by humanitarian? Of course, these immigrants who really want to go to better countries to have a better economic life, better economic prosperity, they are risking their lives traveling through endangered means, through boats, through the Mediterranean in the night, and many of them unfortunately lose their lives. To give you some evidence, which is really important, in the past 6 years, 20,000 immigrants have unfortunately lost their lives in the Mediterranean. Only in the past year, about 700 immigrants have lost their lives traveling this arduous journey. And this is very important because these people are losing their lives. And we believe this is a very impactful argument, as we believe the secrecy of life is of utmost importance. However, we do not believe that anybody in this room will try to object this, and that it is a very dangerous journey. What the opposition is going to prove is that this risk is worth it, because at the end of the day, these immigrants will find better prospects. And we want to refute that. Salma will do it later, but I will give another point of refutation, which is that when illegal immigrants, even if they manage to go safely to the other side of the Mediterranean, to developed European countries, when they come illegally and when they do not have refugee status, they apply for asylum applications and they usually get rejected, and they get refoulement and they go back to their countries of origin. This is unfortunate because even when they are managing to pass the Mediterranean safely, it is very highly possible that their applications will be rejected, and this very dangerous trip will happen for nothing. And therefore, we believe that, first of all, it is very imperative that we work with governments from developing countries to create the economic conditions in order for immigrants to stay at their countries of origin, to not make this very dangerous journey. And second of all, not to make this a dangerous journey for nothing to be sent back. What Salma is going to tell you in the next round is that even if they manage to go through the asylum application, which is very unlikely, the economic conditions that this refugee immigrant is creating will be worse off for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Georgios. You used 5 minutes and 8 seconds. So thank you very much for your speech. Now we're going to move to the closing government. Salma Mesbah, you have 5 minutes. Salma, are you here?
Yes, but me and Diana switched, so I'm going to be.
So you're going to be the closing. No.
Mr. Marius, it's me.
I think there's a mistake. Yeah, I think there's a mistake.
Yeah, it's my turn as a leader for position.
Okay, sorry, I have opening position. So Ibrahim Abdelaziz. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yes. So you are the second seat. Please, Ibrahim, you can take the mic. You have 5 minutes, and everybody else that is not talking, please mute yourself and unmute yourself during your speech. Ibrahim, you have 5 minutes. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Inequality is the root of social evil. This is what Pope Francis once said. Honorable educators, honorable members of the proposition, dear colleagues from the proposition, good afternoon all. Well, the definition of the Prime Minister is, I agree with it, but just one part which I don't agree with it, because it's really not reasonable at all, which is the term of concerned government. Concerned government is such a weak term to call about the governments that the citizens flee from. As the United Nations once mentioned at its UNHCR, said that the governments, the concerned governments, the European concerned governments are the governments that host the refugees, are concerned about the crisis in Syria and Libya and other countries in North Africa. So I refute this point that the concerned government are not the government that the citizens flee from, but the concerned government, according to the United Nations, as mentioned very time in their reports, that considered governments are European governments and other governments that host the refugees in their own country. So our strategy, and as a leader of opposition, I would like to state that our position is completely against this motion, and our strategy will speak about two aspects: humanitarian and economical. But first of all, I want to say that we believe that this motion is against the sustainability and inequality reducing principles, which actually highlighted as the SDG number 10 in this motion. Looking at this motion from the first instance may make you think that opposing this motion is unhuman or evil, as the Prime Minister said, because he didn't actually mention the right term of concerned governments. But actually, in fact, it's completely the opposite. Today, opposing this motion is for the sake of vulnerable, is for the sake of forgotten and equality. What we need here is reducing inequality at the 10th goal of Sustainable Development Goals, proposing, working with the concerned government, which are the governments that countries which refugees flee from, not to, and working with the government, as the Prime Minister said, working with the government that hosts, that free the government, it's not right at all. So we are saying that considered government are the governments that the citizens flee from. Also, we should work with the countries that represent the government that represent the people that are fleeing from, because when we are saying the gap from the countries that are developed or the citizens free from, and the gap with the countries that of North Africa or the Southern Mediterranean, that a lot of are considered as the gates for African migrants and North African migrants, with such great impact on the economy. So what we are saying here, that we should work with the considered government, the government that flee, that the citizens flee from, and invest in their education and empower the women, because as a report from the United Nations said, that gender inequality in North Africa and Sub-Sahara is unbelievable. So what we should do in here is to integrate the women into the economy, and integrate the women with a proper education, and also invest in the providing awareness for the people of the concerned governments that flee from the citizens. So, as I said, investing in awareness and the rights, and investing in their democratic institutions, and also investing in women empowerment is crucially.
Point of information.
Yes, please.
Okay, so you just mentioned that this motion is totally against equality. So do you agree that people who are immigrating to other countries, don't you agree that they are really risking their life in Mediterranean? What do you?
No, of course I say that. Of course I say that they are risking their life, and we should prevent that. But preventing that, as your Prime Minister said, that is considered government that is the country that the country free from. But I had different definition, as the concerned government are the government that hosts the refugees. So the whole point is in that point. Okay, so we say that we should prevent people to risk their life in the Mediterranean by investing in the or citizens flee from. Also, I should like to share some report that was created by the United Nations that says North Africa and Sub-Sahara is the least countries in income inequality, with a share of 30% just in the labor market from the GDP. So at last, I want to declare that this motion is completely against the human rights and the sustainable development goals, and I declare that we are against it strongly.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim, for your speech. So you used 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And now it's time for Salma Khaled. Are you here?
Yes.
Okay,
Can you hear
please.
me?
Yes, I hear you clearly and loud. Please, you have 5 minutes. You can go ahead.
So good afternoon, everyone. So let me start my speech by confirming our situation today, that we're totally supporting today's motion, which said that this House will work with concerned governments to prevent immigrants from risking their life in the Mediterranean. And also let me start by reconfirming the stance of our Prime Minister, as his argument was very clear and very solid with clear evidence as well. Let me then go to rebutting what the leader of opposition has mentioned. Your argument was not totally clear. You're saying that this motion is totally against equality and human rights. It's very weird. We're here today to discuss that we're supporting that we want to prevent immigration to save the lives of the immigrants, and you're telling me that this is against human rights. Actually, it's very weird. So what's your reply about the statistic which is mentioned by our prime minister that there are thousands of people every year lose their life in the Mediterranean and through this immigration? So actually, I'm really sorry for that, but your argument was really weird. Then let me go through my argument. Thank you. So let me go through my argument today. So we're claiming that immigrants are a real burden to the economy. So it's not from a humanitarian point of view only. We're not here. We'll be talking about the disadvantages of immigration and in general. So in a time of high unemployment such as the present, no country can accept that foreigners take the jobs from original citizens. So accepting immigrants, it's not just affecting them and risking their life, but it also causes a higher burdens to the native country, to the social welfare, health system, housing, vacancies. Yes, please go ahead.
You said what means the considered government. You said now that what means that the considered government of the countries that host the refugees. And I'm sorry that you didn't hear my argument, because I said that there's a gap with the host and the exporter. So I mentioned that the considered government are the government that flee the citizen from, not the opposite as the prime minister mentioned.
And actually, we're not convinced with this definition. We are sticking to our the definition which was mentioned by our prime minister, because your definition is not convincing. The concerned government, which is the definition mentioned by our prime minister. So let me go through, please, through my argument again. So as I said, the just immigrants definitely cause unaffordable competition for the employment, as they increase the supply of labor in the economy in the native country they go for. So according to the basic rules of supply and demand, so when the number of workers goes up, the competition will go up, and the probability of getting a vacancy definitely will go down. So the wages and the salary will go down as well. So the original citizens of the country will be highly affected. How can the original citizen live in such a stressful environment and such an economical damage like that? So immigrants really hurt the original workers of the country and hence hurt the economy. And unfortunately, this economical damage have more dangerous consequences to the immigrants themselves. Let's think, what if the unemployment rate or unemployment percentage of the original citizens increase? What do you expect them to do in such a very challenging life? Unfortunately, like, they develop a high rate or grow more hostile towards the immigrants, and they make their life even worse. So from the original citizen, when they get unemployed because of the immigrants, they start to show some discrimination and violence against them. So it's also affecting the immigrants. They're risking their lives when they travel there. And according to the Deutsche Welle website, over 600 attacks were reported on immigrants in Germany in the first half only of 2019. And regarding some evidences about the economical damage, and according to the report from the Danish Integration Ministry in Denmark, after applying a very restrictive immigration laws, they prevent the immigration, or they make it very restricted. The country saved around 6.7 billion euros compared to previously, when they were using more permissive approach regarding the immigration and they were accepting it. So see, after banning or restricting the immigration, the country economy, they experience economical growth. So as per our evidences, as per my argument and all the explanation we provided, immigration affects the immigrants. They're risking their lives in the Mediterranean, as we mentioned, as what the motion says. They are affecting immigrants in the foreign countries they go for. They are experience violence, discrimination from the original citizens, and also it affecting the original citizen, the native people on the country with which the Mediterranean or the immigrants go. They are making them losing their jobs, increasing high unemployment percentage. So at the end of the day, it's better for immigrants to stay in their home countries, and we will be following our policy that we will providing them financial support in their home countries if they need to provide their living standard and so on, without any need to go outside their countries and affecting the economic of other countries and risking their life. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was muted. So thank you very much, Salma. You used 5 minutes and 5 seconds. And now we're going to move to the last speaker of the leading opposition, Ibrahim. You have 5 minutes again. Please go ahead. The time is yours, and the other participants, please close and mute your mic. Ibrahim, whenever you want.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to comment on such things that Deputy Prime Minister have mentioned. First of all, she's talking about banning immigration and going outside the country, which has a really great impact on the countries that host the immigrants. So she said banning immigration is really good, which actually not related to our motion today, which says prevent risking their lives in the Mediterranean, because there's several aspects from immigration that can be helpful. So it's not related to that motion. Second of all, I want to support the leader of opposition term of concerned government that are the government that host the immigrants, not the opposite, because concerned, the word concerned is really weak and really fragile to call it about government that their own citizens are drowning in the sea. Like, can you imagine, and you are saying my definition is really, the leader of opposition definition is really weird. Can you imagine one of your family, one of your citizens go into the sea and drown and just be drove away inside the sea and say, I'm concerned? Is that really proper term to use about consent, and their own citizens are drowning inside the sea? So I say, and also as the United Nations mentioned before in the report, that a lot of host countries that are concerned about the immigrations and effects of immigrations that come to their own countries. So let me begin with some claims, and I believe that this motion is leading to economic inequality depending on the right definition, the right term, because term that there is and going to no return is just a fragile term, definitely. So I believe that this motion is into economic inequality, a situation in which money or opportunities are not shared equally between different groups in society. But in which never one of you, Prime Minister or Deputy Prime Minister, have mentioned, which is highlighted in the motion today, is reduced to the inequality and by extension economic inequality. That's the goal of number 10, Sustainable Development Goal. Working with the countries which refugees flee to. Beside that, proposing this motion means neglecting the inequalities that may be from, but also posing this motion raises the gap is already unspeakable. According to the United Nations report, that share of national income that goes to labor is one indication that going to labor has shown downward strength in 2004. So the inequality in the sub-Saharan North African countries is going down, going up since 2004. According to the share of labor to the GDP. Also, the share of national income that goes to labor is one indication whether the incomes to the workers or not. And the percentage is 36%. The percentage.
Sorry, Ibrahim, I missed your last 10 seconds. Can you please repeat?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I said, that the labor is, the percentage of labor in the GDP is declining, so that means the inequality is increasing in these countries that export immigrants, that what we should work with. And report published that United Nations says North Africa is the least region where labor share income by 36.3%, and Sub-Saharan Africa is the third least region with 52.5%. Also, by proposing this motion, we are wasting the huge opportunities to develop and invest in those countries which the citizens flee from, due to the huge labor and young population. That is already to work with the prosperity in the countries and live there, therefore, when that happens, it will affect the region's economy at all in a positive way. So it will contribute in the world economy prosperity. Also, the United Nations have mentioned that after post-COVID-19 era, or right now in COVID-19 era, the inequality has increasingly increased in these countries that I'm talking about. So the only way to fulfill and satisfy the 10th goal of the Sustainable Development Goals is to invest in these countries, is to try to invest in them and giving loans and expertise and advice that what United Nations supports in the Sustainable Development Goals, and also it will return in the whole region, because when you invest in something promising, you will get things in return. When you invest in something promising, you will have the opportunity to cooperate with them and eventually taking part in the prosperity in the whole globe and recovering from the tiring and exhausting COVID-19 era. So finally, I would like to insist on what the leader of opposition said, and with evidence and terms that I have mentioned and what United Nations have mentioned before about this term, I believe that we should oppose this motion very strongly. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibrahim. You have used 5 minutes and 10 seconds in this case. Then we should move to the next speaker, that is Salma Mesbah, but I'm not sure if she is here. So she's the first speaker of the closing government. Salma?
I'm the first speaker of the closed government, but I don't know.
Okay. Okay, because you switched. And you are not sure if Salma is coming back.
Yes, I'm not sure. Actually, I'm not playing to both roles.
Can you take both roles in case she doesn't show up?
Actually not, because I don't prepare at first. I don't prepare for that at first.
Okay, so what we can do in this case?
She was here, but I don't know.
Yes, I just saw here that her internet is not stable. So what we can do now, we can start with you, Diana, and then if she doesn't come back, then I will kindly ask you to take the two roles, and if not, in this case, we hope that she will come back, and if not, if you are not able to take both roles, I think your team, in this case, that is the closing government, will be disqualified, I guess, if I'm not wrong. Hassan, am I right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are right, Marius. Of course, if you can't deliver the two speeches and you are alone, then you will be disqualified. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with this.
Okay. Actually, I can't do anything because now I know that. I don't prepare from the first for the two roles. You know.
I would advise you to try at least.
Sorry.
Okay, but it depends on you. Let's start, and then let's see if she comes back.
I will start because I prepare it, and what happens, it doesn't matter.
Okay, perfect. You have 5 minutes, Diana. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. My greetings to the members of both teams, the opposition and the government, the adjudicators and the reporters. Me, as the member of the government, I repeat our strong agreement position toward the motion. First, I will start to refute what the opposition team have mentioned. The opposition team, where their argument is in the side of humanity and ensuring equality, like he's actually opposing himself, like he's giving those immigrants who need help another risk or more dangerous solution. As if the solution for a bad life is more bad, is worse. We are not saying that those people who are treated bad in their countries do not have the right to have their basic human rights, but the solution for this problem can be more safe and not risky like that. And I also think human life is more important than improving economy, as they said. And now I want to pass it through my argument. And I would like to present, which is referring to the human side. Many of the immigrants are not being accepted from the countries where they arrive, and such countries are treating them in bad way that harm human rights, like not accepting them at all or trying to drive them out, like just we can't welcome you, so go back to your country or don't know what you do. And here's the biggest problem, like immigrants who try to immigrate in that way through the Mediterranean have their reasons to do that. And as an evidence of what I'm saying, what is happening in Malta regarding this issue. So Amnesty International revealed in a report released in September 8th of this year entitled Waves of Impunity, Malta's Violation of the Rights of Refugees and Migrants in the Central Mediterranean, that the Maltese government has resorted to dangerous and illegal measures to deal with arriving refugees and migrants at sea, which expose countless people horrific suffering and risk for their lives. Malta is resorting to more vile and illegal methods to evade its responsibilities to people in need of help, said Alissa Berry, a regional researcher at Amnesty International. Also, according to testimonies published by the UNHCR and the Mixed Migration Center in the Danish Immigrants Council revealed indiscriminate killings, torture, forced labor, and beatings. Migrants and refugees revealed that they were burned with hot oil and molten plastic, while others faced electric shock, in addition to being tied in harsh positions. Sneaking to reporters from Geneva, Vincent Cochetel, UNHCR's Special Envoy for the Central Mediterranean, said that smugglers and the traffickers are the main abusers, as are government officials. So we, as the government team, and based on what the arguments we have mentioned and explained strongly, with preventing immigrants from risking their lives in the Mediterranean in order to protect humans from risking their lives. And thank you.
Okay, Diana, so you finished at the minute 3. Now let's move to the next speaker. What's going on? 1 second. Okay, perfect. I'm back with the timer.
Can you give me a
Basma Adet Maghrabi? Okay.
Yes, just a second, please. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, Basma, you have 5 minutes.
Okay, dear debaters, dear adjudicators and rapporteur, I welcome you all and thank you for having me in this debate. First of all, I would like to affirm our opposition to the motion saying that this House would work with concerned governments to prevent people from risking their life in Mediterranean. First of all, I'd like to comment on the concerned government that for me, either we stick to the government definition or to the opposition. I think that the concerned governments are both the standing government and the host government, but as the leader of opposition said that the host government, that those refugees seek help in those countries just share that responsibility and they are responsible for them. Okay, so let me just refute my the member of government when she was talking about, of course, the harsh conditions and the risk of life of those immigrants. Of course, we don't oppose that they are at great risk, but I think that the team of government didn't ask themselves why should one risk himself in the sea, risk that he has a possibility to die. I think there are possible many reasons that one could think in dying instead of living in his country. So his country is not just a poor country or just a poor economic reason, but those economic reasons are actually constituting like a hell reality of a person. So I think the government team is just trying to make this economic reason to be in a light position, or it's okay, we are gonna give some money, are gonna give some financial support, but stay in their country. They are not thinking of consequences about these immigrants being trapped in their countries. I think they are trying to make it a light situation, and they are saying, as a prime minister of government said, that they are not refugees, they are just economic immigrants. How do you know? I have to say that there is no EU statistic that said that the people on both, they cannot differentiate whether they are economic immigrants or actually they are asylum seeker or refugee, like they are escaping from harsh situation, not just economic, but also maybe they are not safe in their countries. When people are on boat and arrived on your shores as an EU country, you don't have statistics, you don't know whether they are economic immigrants or they are actually asylum seeker. And actually, to have an economic reason doesn't disqualify these people to be an actual refugee. Why are you talking about economic reasons like they are not important, or we can deal with it so easily? That's what I'm talking about. And now I'm taking you to another perspective. If we said that supposedly that EU countries or the host countries are going to work with the standing government just to prevent those people from risking their life. I think that there is not a clear intention here. Yes, please.
So please let me ask you, are you familiar with how much financial support is offered from the World Organization, the UN and the USAID and so on to the people who are suffering in their life in their countries, so they don't even need to leave their country?
Thank you, please. Thank you. But even if I don't have number, I don't see that it makes much difference, because indeed by UN report, inequality still remains. It doesn't make such difference, and people are still going. So the economic reason or the economic situation are still worsening in those countries. And by so I'm replying to you that money that those nations are giving is not giving a solution. They are not helping. Thank you so much for replying yourself. So as I was saying, that maybe it's an excuse for the EU countries and the developed countries just to escape and avoid their moral and legal responsibility and to protect their border without thinking about the consequence and the real life of those people. Maybe they are saying we are gonna rescue them, we are gonna help them not to risk their life in the Mediterranean, but actually they are just helping their border. They are just helping themselves from the economic burden they are facing. So I think there is not a clear intention, and by evidence I say that the EU countries and the United Nations and Italy have with the Libyan government have signed this memorandum of understanding that actually they help and they provide a financial support to the Libyan Coast Guard. And let me tell you that the Libyan Coast Guard just avoid the territory and help the people present in detention room, and their human rights is violated. So I think that it's just an excuse to protect their border. And by why I think that they shouldn't work with the concerned government to prevent people from risking their life is their choice. Thank you.
Okay, you went a bit over of time, so 5 minutes and 27 seconds. And I would like to invite the last speaker of the closing government, that is Salma Mesbah. Is Salma back? Okay, Salma is not back, and Basma is also the last speaker, and she's here. And if Salma is not back in a bit, I will conclude this this debate, and I will kindly ask you to leave. So let me just see 1 second. Okay, Salma is not back yet, so I will just say that this debate is over at the moment, because with 1 speaker less, we cannot continue. And unfortunately, I hope that she didn't have like any kind of issue. So thank you very much for being here today. This debate is over. Hassan, let me know if we can find a way to continue, or if we can just close it.
I just would like to ask about the evaluation and the score, because I haven't completed my role.
Marius.
Yes,
Marius.
for this reason, I'm asking also Hassan, because you didn't have complete your role, and we need to evaluate. In this case, we can evaluate only for one speech of you, Diana, and one for you as well, Basma. Hassan, is that fine, right?
Marius. So Diana can take the other role, like
no. She said no before. She said no because she's not ready for it, and I don't want to.
And she left now the meeting, right?
Not sure. I think she's still here, but she couldn't take the second role because she was not feeling well.
She can't say anything in order like not to have any kind of disqualification. She can't say anything in this speech, like.
Okay, I can go for the timer, and then if she doesn't say anything for 5 minutes, then we can go to the next one. Basma, I mean.
This Marius, these are the rules. Like, you know, we can do nothing with this. So try like just Diana to give like 1 minute, 2 minutes speech. It's okay, and then of course you will be graded as a team, as one team. Okay.
Sure, but Diana is here. Diana is not here as well.
is not here. She's not here.
So we can consider
Okay,
one
so
speech as
there is-
mute, and Basma, if you want, you can go again as well.
Okay.
Does it look fine? You still have 5 minutes, Basma. Please go
Okay.
ahead. We can consider the speech of the other speaker as muted. Okay, take your 5 minutes again, Basma.
Okay, thank you. The timer, please. Can you share the timer?
Yes, it's going. Do you see it?
Okay, yes. Okay, so greeting all, and at the end of the debate, we would like to affirm our strong opposition to the motion, saying that this House would work with the concerned government to prevent people from risking their life in Mediterranean. And at the end of the debate, we noticed that there is a clash between the government team and the opposition team. The government team claiming that they care for the right of life and the life of those people, and saying that just by staying in their original countries, they are safe and they could benefit from some money, some financial support, and they could be fine. But here at the opposition team, at the leader of opposition and the deputy of opposition have clearly mentioned, and they are given plenty of evidence that there is a very serious situation going on in those developing countries, that there is a serious inequality that we are trying to solve. And by giving some money, by giving some loans or some grants, we are not solving this this problem and this inequality, because we are not working well with the government. We are not helping them to have a system, a very well established system that could support a good economy or a sustainable economy. So people actually have the right to seek the better life. They are not seeking a very prosperous life. They are seeking their basic life, their basic rights of life. They are maybe seeking food. They are maybe seeking to have like a fine house without civil war, without anything or wars or danger going on in their home. They are seeking a simple job to help them go through their day. So they are seeking a life, actually a life. And by that, they are very willing to risk their life and go on in the danger in the Mediterranean just to have this chance, even if they know that they could return back. So this gives you, as the government team, a clear indication how worse, how bad and how grave is the situation in those countries, and we cannot by any means make the situation as a simple economic situation that we could deal with simple money given by the developed country to the non-developed country. We need to think about more situations like, for example, if the EU countries, if the developed country just make more easier conditions for legal migration, why are not they making that? While legal migration is actually not people have access to this legal, to have all the necessary papers and money to have a legal way and legal channels to go to these countries. As for us, we are not addressing, or we are not making the situation light. We are very aware that there is a risk, but we are supporting those people because they are seeking life. We are saying that we are dealing with inequality. We are dealing with a very serious economical problem that could affect the people, and even if they are not in danger, they could die in their own countries. So being economic reason doesn't make them less than a refugee, than asylum seeker that is searching and looking for his right of life. Okay, so as the opposition and the leader of opposition said before, that we are dealing with the inequality, and we want them to integrate. The host countries are responsible for these people coming in the shores, and they cannot escape their moral and their legal responsibility toward these refugees. And I actually insist on calling them refugees, whether they are for economic reason, whether they are asylum seeker, whatever reason, a person on a boat risking his life, going back and going toward a shore of a developed country, then I should be responsible for him. I should take responsibility in my own country, in my own land, in which I can give policy and actually help them, rather than depend on maybe corrupted government to give them a solution, but being aware. No, we insist and we encourage that host countries to take more responsibility to protect them in their own countries. And thank you so much. So by that, we affirm that we should not work with the concerned government to prevent people from risking their life in the Mediterranean. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Basma. Thank you very much for the speeches. The debate is over. I will kindly ask you to leave the room, as we, the adjudicators, are going to stay here and then adjudicate this debate, and then see you later for the result. So goodbye, everyone.
Should we come back?
Yes, you should come back later. You are going
after
to
15 minutes?
Let's say maximum 15 minutes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, but Nurain in the email said that the results will be announced in 6:30 Madrid.
Yes, sorry, if I may. This is a silent session, so you will not get the results, but you can get feedback. So if you would like some feedback, please come back and they'll tell you how to improve, etc. But yes, the results will be announced in the other session.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So 15 minutes
so
back.
If we go back after 15 minutes, we could get some feedback, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So goodbye, everyone, and see you later.
Okay, thank you guys. I know it was a bit messy, but it worked out at the end. And please, as soon as you have them ready, I'd either come back here and you can give them to me orally, or send them to me in an email as soon as possible, but with the names included.
Danny,
Yes, Hassan.
Danny, I will just send you an email with some concerns or some, you know what I mean, okay? But about just what happened, okay? So
of course,
if you can read it after the debate, okay? So
absolutely.
Okay.
We're gonna have a lessons learned session later, so definitely whatever we can improve, we'll make sure we improve.
Okay.
Danny, should I fill the form later after the debate is? After I've collected everything, or I just sent you an email and you do
No,
that?
it's the Excel sheet. There's an Excel sheet or there's a form that you can come up with. It doesn't matter. The online thing hasn't worked. I haven't been able to access it. So anything like similar to what Hassan sent me yesterday, with the names and the individual scores, and of course who's winning, who's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you very much. So let's go ahead now for the adjudication. I think that just one thing that I think is obvious for everyone: the third team. I mean, it's fourth because they had one debater less, and Diana took only 3 minutes out of 5. I think they are the last one. Do you agree on it?
Hi, everyone. Yes, for sure. I agree with that.
Hassan. Hassan, are you here? Hassan?
Probably the connection is not doing too well, but nonetheless.
Okay, he wrote me privately. He's making his grades now. So okay, let's wait. Okay, so we agree on this fourth one, probably everyone.
Okay.
I mean, for again, number 3.
But this is for everyone. Let's keep it open. Say what do you think? What do you think? As opposed to we all agree on that, because you're strong, Marius. You might get them to follow you without subconsciously. So let's keep the adjudication open. So what do you think? Do we have a decision on number 1? Do we have a decision on number 4? And then
yes, Danny, I totally agree with you. But I think I just think in this case, like the team number 3, they had one speaker less, and one speaker talked only for 3 minutes. For this reason, I was thinking that this one it can look like obvious. For this reason, I just talked about this, but not about the rest. So we can take 2 minutes, so everyone can think a bit. and then we can come back like for some comments and then for gradings. Does it look fine?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Hi there. Did you have enough time to think, or would you like to have some minutes more?
Go ahead if you wanna. Where is the other adjudicator?
We lost Hassan.
Yeah.
My God,
Hassan.
what's going
I've
on
never.
today?
Yeah,
All right.
it was a mess. I don't know what happened. Okay, so
If you want, you can go ahead, and then we'll wait also for Hassan.
okay, in my opinion, the winner team would be the opening government. Do you agree on that?
I will tell you later.
So I gave that team 148 points, and I think that they defined very well the frame. They both Yorgos and Salma as well were using so many illustrations.
Do we have also the grade for them? Like, for example, you said 148, but do we have the division? Like 72 or 76 for each one of them? Okay, so Georgos was the first one. So how much you said to him?
72.
72, okay.
0.4.
72.4.
0.4. Yeah.
0.5.
0.4. And Salma, 75.6.
Okay, 72.4. And Salma, that is the, okay, the P2, 74.6.
Yeah.
And this is
75.6.
75.6. Okay, so 148. Perfect.
So for the opening opposition, they will be the third with 144.5. In my opinion, but when I can compare between,
So that's the team number 2. Ibrahim.
Yeah, Ibrahim will be the third one.
It's 140. 104. Okay. And you will split his speech like in 72 and 72, or you have a different?
Yeah, more or less 72.3 and 72.2.
72.2. So he's 144.5.
Yeah. And the closing opposition will get 147.3. 147.3.
47, that is Basma. Okay, and how is the division of the points?
73.7 and 73.6.
0.6. Okay, and the last one, Diana?
I didn't evaluate.
Okay, perfect. I did not as well, because in this case, what I can do, I mean, it's below average, the team,
Yeah.
because one speaker was not there and one was 3. And and do you have any comments to make, like why, for example, one team win compared, I mean, why they are at first? Okay.
Yeah, if you can comment about the, I mean, I'm sure that they was getting the same comments before, because the time management and also the the strategy of the opposition teams were not so heavy, and the 2 last teams were not coming up with new approaches or something. So I would strengthen that in the British parliamentary debate, you have to come up with new ideas if you are the latest teams, because it's like British parliamentary works, no?
Yes, but okay, but here you had the opposition, the last opposition, you know, the closing opposition that is 3rd, right?
Yeah.
And, okay, and you
yeah, but
before.
anyways, I would like to strengthen that idea, and also the point of informations. Only Salma were using them. she was asking a lot of points of information, but there were so many speeches without having any of them. So that seems that you agree with all of the things that your opponent is saying. So
Yes, like you mean for the position of the last speaker, like Basma,
yeah.
that she told 2 times. Yes, they don't have speeches and points of information anymore. Okay, I agree with this. Maybe this helped them a bit, I guess.
Yeah, I think I hope so.
So I think that the strategy of the opening government was better in this case, and they had good structure, and so they mentioned at the beginning. They made good definition, I guess, and was better than the leading opposition. Then they had the closing government and the closing opposition.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it, and I agree with you, and I mean, the points are more or less similar, except for the leading, for the closing opposition. No, sorry, closing government. That was really bad in this case. And yes, I agree with you. And
I also, if you can also highlight that they did it great when they tried to link all the illustrations with the Sustainable Development Goals. I think that was one of the goals of this debate. And I think that they fulfill as much as they could that role. So
okay, illustration to the link to the SDGs.
Yeah,
was great, and they succeeded their role.
Yeah.
Their role, okay.
I'm so sorry for Diana. It was obvious at the beginning of the debate. She was so stressful, but she was trying to get over with all the debate. But
is Hassan not here?
Yeah, Hassan is not here. He had the electricity cut off. He said that he's going to join in 2 minutes. And me and Carmen have the same opinion in this case.
Okay.
She told first, and I just agree with her. And we're just making comments on why we agreed on it.
So we will wait a little bit, and if Hassan is not back, we will decide it by majority vote. So it'll be as if there are 3 of you, and he's on one side, and you're together, and you decide.
Exactly, but in this moment there is already a majority, and we wait for Hassan to see if he agrees with us or he wants to change our mind.
Can you at least work on the numbers, because in half an hour, in theory, we announce the results, and I need to put in the numbers in my score sheet so I know who's ranked where.
Sure, I can go now. Do you want them now? And when I get the Hassan's one, I give you also the Hassan's.
Sure. No, but like the average, that's what I want. So you want to tell me, for example, Giorgio and Selma, individual scores, let's say 65 and 70 or something like that.
Okay, so Giorgio and Salma, they have 148, so the average is 74.
No, for Giorgio alone, for Selma alone.
Giorgio alone, Georgios is 72.5.
This is yours or both of yours?
Carmen.
And yours?
No, mine is, Georgios is 73, mine.
Okay, but that's the idea. You sit together and you average them out. So
okay,
you tell
so
me
I do division, okay.
Something like 72 and 73, 72.5. Let's say.
But from Carmen, I have like points like 72.3, 75.6.
Question, who's the winner?
It's the opening government.
So the names?
Georgios and Salma.
Okay, so great. Second?
The second is the, we have here the opening, no, sorry. So opening government, we have the closing government, the third.
So who is it? Name?
Just let me check a second.
Basma Adel Maghrabi.
Yeah, it was Basma. Yeah, exactly. That's the full name because she called 2 times.
Got it.
She got an easy task because she didn't have like opposition. For this reason, it was easier for her. The third one is Ibrahim. It's her full name. Yeah.
Third is Ibrahim.
Yes, is the opening.
Salma and Diana is last.
Exactly. Dodo Salma.
Okay, so of course the numbers have to reflect that. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Do you want now to do the average? Do you want us to do the average?
Sure. If
Okay.
yeah.
And I need Hassan.
Okay, but start both of you together, and if there's a big difference, then we'll see what we can do about that. But because on hold on, sorry, I'm getting an email.
Sorry, Marius, you said that Salma is the last one. I thought the last one was Ibrahim.
There are two Salmas. No, Ibrahim is not the last one. He was talking the second and the fourth.
Okay, I thought.
So there's Salma and Diana. This is the team that was last, or is it Ibrahim that was last?
No, it was Salma and Diana, but we have two Salmas, I think. No.
No, we have Salma and Basma.
Exactly. Just give me a second. I have written here the names. So it works like this. We had first one that was Georgios, so opening government, and then we had Salma Mesbah, that was Ibrahim Abdelaziz, that was the leading opposition. Then Salma Khaled, that was opening government again, and then Ibrahim Abdelaziz again, that is the closing, that is the leading opposition number 2. Then we had Salma Mesbah, that was not present.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Diana talking instead of her for the first time, and then Salma was not present, so it was closed. So Basma talked 2 times for her team, and she decided to talk 2 times, and she was present.
Okay.
So Salma was supposed to be like, no, Basma was the last one, and Salma was supposed to be before the last one. That's it.
So Giorgio and Salma together, winning team, the least.
Salma Khaled. So
yes, and then names. Diana and Salma Mesbah, the person who didn't really show up, was
exactly they are
the last team.
The last team, the fourth one.
Okay. Yeah. Second team is Basma on her own.
Exactly. She had an easy task.
The third team is Ibrahim on his own.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Let's work on some numbers while I receive the others. So let's say Giorgio and between you both, just give me yours, and then I'll figure out the average quickly.
Okay, I will go for it. So you have the first member, that is Giorgio, 70.55 and 73 from me.
Okay.
Then you have, let me just check the names, Ibrahim Abdelaziz.
But what about Salma? Because they're together.
You want to go with
Salma Khaled.
Salma Khaled, you have 75.6 and 75.
Okay. Then Ibrahim twice.
Ibrahim twice you have, let me check. The first one is 72.3.
And
72.
Okay.
Hassan wants to be here.
Okay, where is he? Outside waiting?
Yes, he said, please waiting. Please admit. Waiting. Sorry. Like 7 minutes.
Okay. Technical support, hello.
Albert?
Bilingua.
Hello.
Can you please admit Hassan? He's waiting outside.
Okay.
Yes.
We have Ibrahim Ahmed Abdelaziz. He shouldn't be here at the moment.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Ibrahim? Yes. He should be out.
Sorry, because you just told us that come back.
Okay. That's it.
But we're still the adjudicators. Okay. Hassan, can you hear us?
He's connecting, I think.
Yeah. Okay. There he is. Hassan, you want to at least go with the ranking first before we do the like the scores? So who's first, who's second, who's third?
Danny. Of course. Sorry for that due to the electricity cutoff, and because I was waiting the admission, I was waiting in the waiting room. Okay, I'm sorry for that.
It's okay.
Okay, so
winning team
let me
for you.
Just okay. So
winning team, because they decided together and they had agreed.
Okay, so can you just tell me they agreed on what, for example, because
guys, go ahead, talk to Hassan.
We agreed on the closing government, Hassan, as the winning team.
The opening government.
Sorry,
Closing
opening government. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening
Georgios and
government.
Salma.
Okay, yes. If opening government, then yes, because I was actually confused. Like closing government, of course, I will not choose closing government. The opening government lists for me were the best in this debate,
Okay.
and the closing government, like they were third for me in this debate.
Who's
I don't
closing
know if you
government?
agree here with me.
Closing is
government are-
Basma. Basma is the closing government.
Closing. Sorry.
Basma twice is the closing government.
No, she's the closing opposition. The closing government is is Diana and Salma.
Closing government disqualified closing government.
Exactly. So I put them last one, fourth.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, for this reason you don't mention them because you see that they are disqualified.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it.
So we're just looking for number
Okay.
2 and 3. That's all. So we know number 1, we know number 4. Who's 2 and 3? Just decide. Is it who's number 2? Is it Ibrahim or Basma?
Yes, for me, Danny, I just want to tell you something. For me, Basma is doing a great job, and for Ibrahim too. But for the grades, for example, like they are too similar. Like for example, I just was trading like 73, 73, 72, 72. However, like I will choose Ibrahim actually to be second, and as I said, the closing opposition, which is Basma, it should be third. Not
okay,
second for
but
me.
agree with them because I think they chose the opposite. But decide
Exactly.
and send it to me as soon as possible, guys. I'm waiting for all these emails. I haven't received anything yet.
Okay.
Okay, let me email all the. Okay. So guys, please finish as soon as possible. Email me the numbers, the grades.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
so I
Of
will
course.
send them to Marius, and of course, Marius will do the calculations and send them to you.
Yeah,
Anything.
but we have to agree on the positions first, right? Because-
Exactly, because me and you, Carmen, have already agreed. But Hassan, we have chosen Basma for second and Ibrahim for third. I will tell you here what are our allies. We have now. Let me check for Ibrahim that we have 72.3 and 72 from me for the first pitch, and for the second pitch 72.2, and I have 72. For Basma, that is the fourth speaker. We have 73.7, right, and 73.6 from Carmen, and for me it's 73, 73.
Okay.
I think it's better going to the content instead of keeping deliberating.
Yeah, it's better like to discuss the content.
Yeah. Yeah, so in my opinion, I understand that you choose Ibrahim because he was trying to organize the speech very good, and he was using so many data. The strategy was okay from his side, I think.
Yeah, for me, Ibrahim, like, yes, did the two roles perfectly for me. Like, they are, like, you can't say like perfect speeches. However, like, for example, yes, I had like a great structure, like he understood the structure well, and he had like some information and he did his research. For me, it's better like than Basma. Basma, I dedicated on her like yesterday. She's in the same level of yesterday. She like still has like, for example, some problems regarding when it comes like to the structure. When she refutes, for example, she doesn't like actually care a lot about for example, the structure. For the argumentation, like she's somehow mixing, like, and I'm not actually getting like full arguments from her. She did this great research, like she had some good content, but for me, Ibrahim was better.
When it comes to style, Basma was so much better than Ibrahim, in my opinion. But if I care about the content, for example, Basma said she was talking about economic migrants and asylum seekers as the goal or the core of the conversation, and I think that was going out of the debate. That's something that Ibrahim didn't do, and
This
he
is
was
true. This is true. This is true.
answering very well to the point of informations, and as Basma only answered one of them, but yeah.
I think Basma was lucky. She didn't get point of information in the second time. So, and
Yeah.
the others did not use it. And she was lucky because she had like a free floor. She was against nothing, you know, it was easy for her to be second in this case, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Yeah, maybe I should agree with you, with Hassan, in terms of leaving Ibrahim in the second position and Basma as the third one. What do you think, Marius?
I think the same, because I think he was like he was put in he was really debating. Basma was at some point, she also closed her camera in the second debate. So I was not sure what she was doing, if she was just reading or not. She was waiting to read.
Yeah.
So for this reason, I'll change my mind as well. So I put like Ibrahim for second and Basma for third. So let me just change a bit my calculations and to make sure that she goes. So Ibrahim is 72 and Basma is 76, 73.
And Marius, we should like take into consideration, like for example, although Basma, like in some debates, like she is taking the two roles, but if you look at Brahim taking two roles in this debate, he's doing actually what like personally, like I doubt like I can do in a debate. So like for example, he's taking the two roles, having everything, getting the info well, answering and collaborating, and like for example, he's like coordinating everything as one person, one team, while like Basma, she had some problems. Yes, she had some kind of contradictions that I mentioned in my notes. She had like problems like regarding structure and so on. So for me, of course, I am with Brahim. But as I said, there's a little difference between them in grades. Like maybe I gave like Ibrahim like one time 73. Another time like 71, 71.5.
Give me a second. So 73, the first time
grades.
73,
Okay.
and the second time 71.5. This is Ibrahim. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Can you tell me also the other scores,
Yeah.
please, so I can have them now and send them to Danny later?
Okay. Okay, so guys, you don't want to announce anything now, like this.
No, but I have to
we will
send
not
it to
announce
Danny.
Results today, sir, right?
Yes, but I have to give feedbacks and then I send it to Danny. So if you
Okay.
tell me an example,
Because of that I asked. Okay, because of that I asked. Okay, so yes, can you, Marius, go name by name, and I will tell you the grade directly because I'm rating them here. I wrote them like as Prime Minister. Like for example, if you start Prime Minister with the
give me a second. I will go like this. I'll just ask you the names directly.
Yeah, that's great.
So we have Georgios. So me is Carmen is
Georgios did the great job.
Georgios is 72.5 from Carmen, 73 from me. And you? Hassan, it's you.
From my side, 73.5. I like his speech a lot.
Okay, Hassan is 73.5. Then we have Ibrahim Abdelaziz.
Ibrahim in the first speech, you mean?
Exactly, first speech.
Yeah, the leader of opposition.
I tell you, we have for the first speech 72.3.
73.
73, so 72.3 from Carmen, 72.5 from me, and 73 from you, Hassan. Then we have Salma Khaled. First speech.
To change, in my case, I have to change.
Salma, you mean deputy?
In my case,
He's the deputy prime minister.
Okay.
I tell you mine, so Carmen can.
Yeah, the deputy prime minister got.
For me, 75.
Okay, so can I talk?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Salma did the great job. For me is like Georgios was great also, but maybe like she gave him a great push and the okay, I will not give full feedback on her. If she asks about feedback, I will tell her. Okay, so the grade is for me 74.
So 74 for you. Carmen, did you change your mind on the grade of Salma?
Yes, it's on. I'm just sending to you the changing results, the changed results.
Okay, so we can wait for Carmen. And then we have Ibrahim again for the second time.
Yeah, I gave my grade for Ibrahim for the second time.
What is your grade for the second time?
Uh, 71.5.
For the second time, okay, 71.5. Mine is 72.5, and then we can wait for Carmen because Ibrahim is the one that changes, and then the Basma one. Do we have the Basma one?
Okay, here you have write it down.
Okay, Carmen, so 03 and 04. So Basma I have, for me, for the second time is, for the first time 72, and for the second time 72 I put it. You, and you, Hassan? Hassan?
Can you repeat your question? I'm not
Basma,
actually,
the Basma.
not listening. It's
Yeah.
lagging. It's lagging.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yeah, deputy leader of opposition, you mean?
Yes.
Marius, maybe it's better that we can send it to you by email, and it's because it's easier to misunderstand for information if we are
Sure
here. So, for example, I just write it down. You can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, I'm just copy pasting them, and if you can do the same, Hassan, or you write to me by WhatsApp, so we can welcome the team now and give them just some short feedbacks. For the feedback, let me just what I wrote here. I just said that they had great strategy when they talk about, for example, when they link with the sustainable development goals, and what else? Their illustration were good, they were great, and they had like
Marius, we should give you here like Marius. Okay, so Marius, like we can give you here like I can give you here like 2 to 3 points, and you can tell them these points. Okay, so like and Carmen can give you her points, because I think the lead adjudicator should give the feedback, right?
Yes, I have to give the feedback, and but I cannot tell them the result. I just give them some feedbacks. That's it. The result will be announced later. So if we welcome them, I can tell them like can give them some feedback. And if you write the scoring as well, Hassan, I just missed the Basma one from you, and then I'm done. If you can tell me the Basma one, I'm done. Then I can send the email to Danny.
Yeah.
Basma 70.5.
70.5, the first speech, and the second one?
Second one, 71.
71. Okay, perfect. So I have Carmen, I have yours, I have everything.
71, yes. Yes.
Okay, for the feedback, do you agree on what I said for that they had great structure, they had great, they were really great in doing the illustration with the sustainable development
this
goals?
debate, like, yes, Marius, like, I'm sorry for it. Okay, it's lagging. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Marius, this debate is totally different from yesterday's debate. Like, for example, they all, like, most of them, we can't say all, like, for example, like, follow the certain structure, follow the BP format that we are used to. At the same time, for the first time, like, we have, like, for example, the closing, they are doing their role, but they should actually, like, prevent, like, when they give their refutations, they should prevent, like, they can say new ideas in their refutations or new examples, but they can, for example, like, especially when it comes to the fourth speaker, like, they can, for example, come up with new ideas in their refutation. They can come up with new examples. This should be clarified. Okay, did you get my point, Marius?
Yeah, with the refutation, when you are the last speakers, for example, I know what you mean, not new ideas, but new examples, just to strengthen your argument. Yeah, I totally agree with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
And at the same time, I had one problem with this debate. Yes, Carl.
No, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. You can go ahead.
Okay, I have like another comment besides the positive 4 point that we will talk about regarding the strategy and structure. Like for example, this debate, like we can say we had like equality in the points of information. However, for example, some speakers like they can be like actually they were, for example, like more asking more information than the other. So this actually for me, like when I grade, for example, regarding the points of information, like for example, I give extra points for those who ask a lot, but they shouldn't ask, for example, questions that are not super relevant or they're not worthy to ask. So you can tell them, like for example, that strict Marius on the points of information. Okay. Yes, we are talking about these tiny things, Marius, because there are not actually, for me, there are no basic problems in this debate. I had the good content, but for the points of information, you can explain it again. Like, for example, if it's worthy to ask, then you ask. Like, for example, if it's a question that's worthy. And for example, also you should tell them that a team or a speaker in general should give points of information. Like for example, in a certain team, they shouldn't like leave it for one speaker to ask all the questions. Okay, so that's it from my side regarding the comments. I don't think I have anything more besides the positive things, of course.
Great, guys, we need to close it now and to ask the team to be here, because then I need to send the email to Danny. And we have only 30 minutes for them for the organization to announce. So Nuran, you can invite them if you want.
Okay, it's Albert who can maybe let them in.
Okay.
Yes, but there's nobody waiting right now.
Ah, really? Okay, let me send them an email. Just
or
a
maybe.
moment.
Okay.
What you want to
Maybe,
close?
No, maybe we have another link that we should join or not?
Most important is to share. No, it's the same. It's the same link to join now here.
Oh, okay, perfect.
The other link is to join the announcement. Okay, so the most important thing, Marius, sorry, is to share the results as soon as possible with Danny, because we need to inform Dr. Nabila and Dr. Blanca. Okay.
Sure, I just need to give them the feedback and then I'll leave so I can give the result to Danny.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, so we'll leave now, or we'll wait for the debaters?
We need to wait for the debaters so we can give a feedback, I guess. Or if Nuran says the opposite, we can just leave, but let's wait.
I'm really not sure, because if I will still send the email and wait for them, I think this might take long. So maybe we can go straight to the final announcement, you know?
Okay.
So will you be able to send now to Danny the results?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So can I leave?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect.
And I'll leave.
Okay. See you later.
Thank you. Hi, Carmen. Good to see you.
We can say the same. Great job, Nuran. See you later.
See you. See you, dear. Bye. Bye.